Anyways, I'm living in Bangkok, and I've already decided that I'm going to be moving to Cambodia. I have been in Bangkok for 4 out of the last 6 months. I've been basically staying there. I had a girlfriend, and I had recently broken up with her because I was telling her I'm moving to Cambodia, and she didn't want to come to Cambodia, even though Thailand's the country next door. She's staying. She wants to stay in Bangkok, right? That's her life is. I get it. So I break up with her, and I start going out on dates. It's really easy to get dates in Bangkok as a white foreigner. So I'm going on dates, and some of the people on Tinder are honest dates, and some of them are prostitutes. And most of the time, the prostitutes tell you up front, they say, oh, this is how much, I'm looking for a good time kind of thing. It's pretty straightforward. But some of them don't tell you, right? Some of them just pretend like they want to date, and then they kind of break it to you when you're on the date. So I go out on this date with a transgender woman, which is one of my things. I am bisexual, and I will sleep with anyone, but I'm attracted to females. But I don't care what their genitalia are. So I go out on the date with her. She's good looking and all, and we're hitting it off. And things are going pretty good, and we're having a fun time. And we're sitting at a hookah bar, and we're having some beers. And then she breaks the news, well, if you want to take me home, it costs basically $50. It is what it is. And I was like, well, you didn't tell me that you're a working girl. And she goes, oh yeah, well, I'm sorry. And I was like, this is after the second drink, by the way. And I'm like, no big deal. I'm like, don't worry, I'm not mad. No big deal. I'm like, you can finish your drink. We can stay here and talk, but I'm not going to buy you another drink because I'm not going to pay for that. And she goes, why not? I'm not good looking enough. And I go like this. I'm like, look at me. I'm like, do I look like the kind of guy who has to pay to have sex? I go, no. I don't have to pay to have sex. I said, so no offense. I mean, you're worth it, but I'm not going to pay you. Okay, no problem. Totally nice, nice exchange. She finishes her drink, and then she leaves. Okay, I'm going to go out with my friends. We're going to go clubbing. Sure, have a good night. So she takes off, and I sit at the bar, and I order another drink, another big, huge beer, and I'm smoking cigarettes, I think, at the time. So I'm sitting there, and I'm smoking and hanging out. A couple more rounds. Don't leave. I don't go anywhere, and all of a sudden, she texts me out of nowhere and is like, hey, are you still at the same place? And I'm like, yeah. Can I come by? Sure. Whatever. I haven't moved. My plan was to go out on a date, and the date ended up a dud. So I'm just sitting there and drinking. I'm getting drunk. So she comes back and she sits down with me and she's like, hey, do you want to go out? Do you want to party? And I'm like, yeah, but I already told you, I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for you. And she goes, well, okay, that's fine. I'll pay for it. Don't worry. Me and my friends, we got money. It's on me. I want to take you out and show you what the local Thais, what we do for partying. Because I guess the club she went to was closed for the night. So I said, okay. Not a problem. I'm like, that's cool. I'll go out with you and your friends. She's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, why not? I'll go out and party. We could go party and have fun. I'm cool with that. You're going to pay for the drinks? Sweet. All right, let's go. I tell her, okay, no problem. I'll pay for the taxi. So we jump in the taxi with her and one or two of her friends, and then we meet a couple more of them there. And so we go to this club, and it's a Thai club, and it was really cool. It was packed. I mean, wall-to-wall people. I am the only person who's not Thai there. I stick out like a sore thumb because Thai people are kind of short and I'm 6'1". I'm the only white person there. Nobody there speaks English. It's a Thai club way off of the tourist beaten path, right? So I honestly, I probably couldn't even find the club again. We go there. There's a bunch of different Thai bands playing. There's a Thai band playing, and when the band's done playing, there was a drag show, and then there was a whole bunch of different acts, basically. A lot of entertainment, and it was really cool. And we were at a table, and there was 4 of her friends and her, so there's 6 of us there, and we're just drinking. And now in Thailand, they do big, huge carafes of beer. I forget what they're called. It's just this huge thing of beer. So it's big, huge pitcher of beer. And so we're just filling up all these beers. And then we start doing vodka Red Bulls. Then her friends buy a bottle of Jack Daniels, and we're drinking. We drink pretty much an entire bottle of Jack Daniels, partying it up to the hilt. They pick up the tab. I don't pay a damn thing. I'm wasted off my ass. We're partying. We're having a good time. And we're clicking. And all of her friends were transgender as well. But, I was having a great time. Still flirting with her and giving her the respect. I'm not flirting with her friends or anything like that. And so after that, she's like, hey, you want to come to karaoke with us? Sure, why not? Okay, let's go. So we go to the karaoke bar, which is just literally like a few streets over. So we go to this tiny little karaoke bar. It's a really tiny bar. And the karaoke bar does not have any English songs. It's all Thai songs. So I don't do any karaoke, but they're up and we drink a whole bunch more. And they tried to pay for that tab, but I picked up that tab. I said, no. You paid for the whole thing at the club. I said, I appreciate it. No problem. Your friends don't have to pay for everything. They got the big tab. I got the smaller tab. It ended up being like under $100. It was like $60-$70 for everybody at the karaoke. They probably had a $200 plus tab at least at the Thai club. Sure enough, I go, yep. All right, cool. We have fun. Her friends want to go home. It's probably 4 in the morning or something like that at the time. Maybe it's 5. And she's like, oh, you want me to come home with you? And I'm like, sure, like, you can come home with me, but I already told you I'm not paying you. She's like, oh, no, that's not a problem. I just like, I just want to sleep with you. Okay, cool. So we take a taxi back to my place, and I'm in a really nice luxury apartment. I did Airbnb, so it's a really nice place. And we have sex. We have a great time, this and that. Wake up in the morning. Have sex again, get showered and dressed, and I say, okay, I want to go to the mall, so do you want to come with me to the mall? I'll buy you lunch, because it's obviously lunchtime now, because we were drinking all night long. Went to a nice Japanese sushi restaurant, ate a really good meal. She ordered way too much food and didn't eat half of it. She just was basically running up the tab on me. No big deal. Like, the amount of money, it's still, the amount of money they spent, it was on me the night before was great. So we hang out, but all of a sudden, like, there's no chemistry whatsoever. Now she's starting to become a bitch. I can tell she's just trying to get money from me now. So all of a sudden, I just kind of like get this vibe, and I'm just like, yep, that's it. No good. All right, whatever. Had a good night. Great. So then we finish up eating, and she goes, oh, you want to come shopping with me? I want to look at like some clothes and this and that. And I say, no, I don't want to. I'm gonna go back home and take a nap or whatever I said. She's like, okay. So we leave. So she walks through the mall, and I take off, and I go back home and do whatever I gotta do. I don't even remember. But then she like texts me. She starts texting me all the time, and she texts me like the next day or the following day. And she starts really spam texting me, and she's just like, hey, I want to hook up. Hey, why don't you buy me this and this and that? She's just like acting like, oh, you know what? You want me to come over, but you got to pay this time and this and that. And I'm like, no. And she's like, oh, I thought you wanted a girlfriend, this and that. Because I was telling her I want a girlfriend. I don't want to just pay for a one night. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but, it's just, yeah, we had a fun time, but I just don't think it's working out. And she starts getting all aggressive and psycho and like, fuck you piece of shit, blah, 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 and sending all these nasty texts. So I just blocked her and moved on and found some more girls. And so that's how I got a prostitute to pay for me. And it was one of the best nights of my life, by the way. I mean, I'm telling you, we partied like rock stars. And it was great. No regrets whatsoever, but it didn't work out. She wasn't the one for me, so she got all aggressive and clingy and she thought that, oh, this is the nice guy and we're gonna hook our claws in, and didn't work. It didn't work. I don't know what else to say. But I've met plenty of other girls after that. Some of them had penises, some of them did not.